Hey, Canucks fans, the World Championships are done. And I want to talk about, in particular, the performance of the 4 Canucks players, especially Arturs Silovs. So let's go in order. Let's start with Conor Garland. His U.S. team loses to Latvia in the bronze medal game today, losing in overtime. So unfortunately, Team USA does not leave Latvia with a medal. Now, Conor Garland, our forward, was part of that U.S. team and actually had a pretty good tournament. In 10 games, he had 8 points. He had 2 goals and 6 assists to make 8 points. He was a +4 in just under 16 minutes of ice time. So nothing too crazy to say here. He was one of the leading point getters on the U.S. team, actually. Looking at it really quickly, it looks like he was tied for third overall on that team. Tied for fourth overall. So a good tournament by Conor Garland, but obviously I think he wanted to be returning with a medal. So no medal for Conor Garland and Team USA. By the way, these World Championships were hosted by Finland and Latvia, not just Latvia. So no gold, no silver, no bronze, no medal for Conor Garland, but 8 points in 10 games. Let's now talk about the 2 Canadian players, both right-handed defensemen, and they are gold medalists. So congratulations to Tyler Myers and Ethan Bear, both gold medalists, defeating Germany in the gold medal game just about half an hour ago by a score of 5-2. Now, Ethan Bear did not play in this gold medal game. He was actually injured at the very end of the quarterfinal victory over Finland. Him, and it might be Myers actually. I'm not sure Bear and Myers were on the ice at the same time, but I know Bear was in the corner trying to just run out the clock, helping secure the victory. And he took a hard hit and maybe a slash from a Finland forward. So instead of celebrating with his teammates, he actually skated off the ice right away. So unfortunately, Ethan Bear only played in 8 of the 10 games for Canada, missing the semifinal, that exciting victory over Latvia, and missing the gold medal game as well. But he was there. He was dressed in, I'm not sure if he was wearing full pads, but I know he was wearing the Team Canada jersey as they accepted the medals. So it was great to see him with his teammates. And Ethan Bear overall, not a spectacular tournament. He played, like I said, in 8 games, no points. So no goals, no assists. He was a -1. He had 4 penalty minutes, and he played 15 minutes of ice time. Now, remember, I think you can carry a bigger bench in the IIHF games, because I saw lineups where there were 20 skaters dressed. Actually, they had 13 forwards and 7 defensemen. So that's why often you don't see if you have a bench of 20 skaters as opposed to 18. Obviously, the ice time is kind of more evenly distributed, or at least you don't see guys with the massive kind of totals that you see in the NHL of a 24-minute game, a 25-minute game, sometimes for a defenseman, 25, 26 minutes. So that's why, imagine just all the ice time being spread out over 7 defensemen as opposed to 6. But Ethan Bear did not play in the final 2 games. So again, finishes with 15 minutes of ice time, no points in those 8 games. Tyler Myers did play in all 10 games. Noticeable not just because of his size, but he had a pretty good tournament, actually. He had 1 goal, no assists, so he had 1 point in those 10 games, but he was a +8. In fact, everyone, I'm looking at the stats now, everyone on Canada was plus, except for Ethan Bear, who was a -1, so it wasn't that bad. But Myers finished off +8, and he had 19 and a half minutes of ice time average per game. So he was one of the defensemen that played the most minutes, actually. And it's good for him, good for Myers. I know a lot of people are kind of poking fun at him. Oh, now he sure looks tradable. He sure will be a desirable asset, or the only thing he's going to win in his career. For today, no, we should congratulate Tyler Myers. We should congratulate Ethan Bear. We should be proud that these are Vancouver Canucks players and that they won a gold medal. And it's not the Olympics, but it's still very important. You can just tell how important it was to Latvia win, and I'll get to them in a second. Latvia winning in their home country. You would tell how important it was for Germany, and obviously it was still important for all the all the Canadian players, coaches, staff, whoever may be. So congratulations once again to Team Canada and 2 Canucks defensemen. I said Tyler Myers and Ethan Bear coming home with gold medals. But I want to spend the rest of the time talking about Arturs Silovs. He played the entire tournament for Latvia except for the first 5 minutes. So in Latvia's opening game of the tournament, they played against Canada and they got shelled in the first few minutes. They pulled the starting goaltender. They brought Silovs in, and Silovs played the final 55 minutes of that game 1, and every single minute of the the remaining 9 games. So he basically played 10 games for Latvia. Listen to these stats. His save percentage was .921. His goals against average was 2.2. He had 1 shutout, and in the games that he didn't take a loss in that game. So in the 9 games, he was 7-2. He was 7-2. So I think they lost one. Lost one of the round robin games, and they obviously lost the semifinal against Canada. But when you read out the stats and when you look at them, a .921 save percentage and a .220 goals against average, 7-2 with 1 shutout. Awesome performance by Arturs Silovs. And he was named not only to the All-Star team, they picked 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, 1 goalie. Arturs Silovs was the goaltender on that All-Star team. By the way, only 1 Team Canada member, Mackenzie Weegar, defenseman, was named on that 6-man All-Star squad. But not only the All-Star goalie, but he was the tournament MVP, not just for Latvia, but for the entire tournament. So congratulations to Arturs Silovs for winning the tournament MVP. And you see those numbers and the fact that you're in Latvia, you make it all the way to the bronze medal game, and you win that bronze medal in an exciting game over the U.S. All reasons to be happy for Latvia and to be happy for Arturs Silovs. So well deserved by Silovs, and congratulations to him and his Latvian teammates. So this is a Vancouver Canucks vlog. So it begs the question, where should Silovs play next season? I've been saying all along, make him the starter in Abbotsford, give him 1 more year down there, and then I think with 1 year more experience and maturity, he can be a bona fide backup for Thatcher Demko for the last few years of Demko's contract. I must admit, when I saw him play so well at the World Hockey Championships, there's a part of me that says, why not make him the backup next season already? I know he doesn't have a lot of NHL experience, but he was playing against NHL caliber players. Not all of them, but most of them were NHL caliber players at this World Hockey Championships. And he was the tournament MVP with those amazing stats. So part of me, admittedly, is thinking, wow, maybe he's he's ready to back up Demko already for next season. So I put it out there to Twitter, and just before I started recording this vlog, so this poll has been up for just under half an hour and has 200 votes. And I said, where will Arturs Silovs most likely play next season? Or maybe where do you want him to play? And right now, 64% are saying starter in Abbotsford, 36% saying backup to Demko. So again, 64 to 36% people on Twitter saying make him the starter in Abbotsford. Now, for the Vancouver Canucks last season, he appeared in 5 games and he went 3-2 in those 5 games. And his numbers, okay, 908 save percentage, 2.75 goals against. And then in Abbotsford, he played in 44 games, going 26, 12, and 5. And then he was 909 save percentage, so 909 in Abbotsford, 908 in NHL, and then 244 goals against, which is a lot better than his NHL. And then in the playoffs, he played in 2 games. Remember, Spencer Martin played a lot of those games as well. He went 1-1 in the playoffs, 914 save percentage, 285 goals against. So you look at all this then. I just realized he didn't go 7-2 and he didn't go 7-2 with 1 shutout. I think where it said shutout, that was a shootout loss. So I think he went 7-2-1. But regardless, it was still a winning record in the World Championships. So where should Silovs play next season? So after thinking about some more, talking to my son Sean, and just thinking about his overall development path, there's no rush to get him to the Vancouver Canucks. I am fine with him doing 1 more year in Abbotsford, even though I think with a strong training camp, he could probably force the Canucks' hand in making him the backup to Demko. Remember, he'll be battling Spencer Martin. So both of these goalies under contract for next year. There's the new goalie that they acquired, Talapila. I don't know how to say his name. Talapila. And then maybe if they don't bring in Colin Dealer, they bring in another goaltender as well, a more veteran face as well. So I expect to see 4 or 5 goaltenders, maybe 4 goaltenders battling for the backup spot behind Demko. And when you look at the contracts, him and Spencer Martin, basically the same contract, really. Martin makes $763,000. Silovs makes $786,000, so only $23,000 difference between the two goaltenders. So you're not going to be able to sign an extra player just by playing one guy over the other. So really, I think it's going to come down to merit. I think it's going to come down to training camp. I think it's going to come down to who has the better preseason. And if the Canucks feel that it won't hurt Silovs' development if he's backing up Demko, because he'll still be working with goaltender coach Ian Clark, working with Demko, working with NHL shooters all the time, then maybe that's the way they go. Or if it's close, well, there goes my sign. If it's close and Martin, it's basically a toss-up, they might give Martin the start at least in the starting backup position, and let Silovs get as many games as he can in Abbotsford. I don't think there's a wrong way to go, and I know we have a few months to figure out what's going to happen. It might depend on who else they bring in as competition, but let's see what happens. For now, let's congratulate Arturs Silovs on a wonderful performance in the World Championships. And I think this just bodes well for the strength of Canucks goaltending overall. When you have Demko, you know he's going to be the starter. You had Martin, who struggled, but who found his form later in the year. And you now have Arturs Silovs, who had an outstanding World Championship. Canucks fans, let me know what you think in the comments. Where would you start Arturs Silovs next season? Would you start him as the backup to Thatcher Demko in Vancouver, or as likely the starting goaltender in Abbotsford to start the season, likely playing 3 times as many games if he does that? Let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to join me tonight at 10:30 p.m. for my weekly Sunday night live stream. I missed last week because I was out of town, but we're back doing it tonight. So again, Sunday night, tonight, weekly live stream. Let's see what happens. 10:30. I hope you can join me there. Thanks to my shout-outs. Thanks to my sponsors: Advanced State Experts Real Estate, Performance Transform, Personal Training, Weight Loss. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Carol Bovelander, and legendary Andrew Chang. Thank you for your support, and thanks to all of you subscribers for your loyalty and for your encouragement as always, and for watching all of these videos. Always appreciate you. Never take you for granted. On your way out, subscribe, like the video, leave a donation, become a member, upgrade your membership, and don't forget to leave me a comment. Where would you like to see Arturs Silovs start next season? I'll see you tonight at 10:30 p.m. for my live stream. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.